Welcome everyone to Photo U. So glad you're joining us tonight. And we hope this is a very inspiring evening for you in multiple ways. First of all, we're going to show you some ways that you can display inspirational items around you, quotes and things, and how you can share those inspirational items. And then we're going to talk a little bit about where we get inspiration from and how to adapt it to your project. So glad you're here. But before we start, because I always forget, we're going to give away some points, and the points tonight are going to Lisa Espinoza. So Lisa, if you will message Lisa Evans to your account number, she will get you those points, okay? So we're going to get going then, and I'm going to turn it over to Miss Brooke. Brooke, are you ready to go?
I am. Sorry, I had to unmute myself there for a second.
And I'm going to unpin my video, so Brooke, you can now be the focus.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so we should be seeing the Snap to Finish homepage.
That's correct. I'm going to mute, but if you need something, just yell.
Okay, let me know if there are any questions. All right, so tonight we're going to start with Snap to Finish. We've only got a couple of things to show in there, and then we'll spend the majority of our time in Heritage Makers. So I wanted to start with, we're talking about inspiration, things that inspire you, ways to keep inspiration fresh, whether it's in your home or giving gifts to someone to inspire them, that type of thing. So I wanted to start in Snap to Finish with one of my favorite ideas, which is the photo pillows. I love these, and they're so much fun, and it's such a trend going on right now to have photos with sayings on them, fun, inspirational little quotes. And so I'm going to be going back and forth to Pinterest quite a few times tonight, because I think a lot of us who use Pinterest use it for inspiration in a lot of ways, whether it's finding a recipe, finding inspiration for your home, for your projects, for anything. So we're going to go into Pinterest, and oops, it was already in one, but we'll get back to that later. So for this one, I'm going to just search pillow quotes. And there are, like I said, so many fun options out there right now. So whether it's a picture and a quote, or just a quote, something fun just to inspire you. I love this one that I keep seeing. She fell asleep and got lost in Wonderland. Or funny things, I woke up like this. Everything you can imagine is real. All kinds of fun things. These are cute on couches, on beds, great for gifts, maybe something for your kids to cuddle with to keep them upbeat and inspired. So lots and lots of fun ideas. And how fun would it be to create your own personalized versions using the pillows in Snap to Finish? So we're going to go ahead and go into Snap to Finish and make a couple of our own really fun photo pillows. So I'm in here on the products page for pillows, and it brings you to this gorgeous page. Now there are options for the 16 by 16 inch or 18 by 18 inch. We're going to play around in the 16 by 16 tonight, but they are both gorgeous options. So I clicked order, and it's going to pull up just a couple of basic photo layout options. Again, this is assuming that you want only photos on your pillow to start out with. You can add whatever you would like through the Snap to Finish editor. So I'm going to start out with this one, just the full-size single photo option. And what I'm actually going to do when it opens in here is I'm going to delete this photo box. So I have a perfectly blank white pillow. And then I just want to go to text, add an empty text box, and I can add whatever text I would like. Maybe something like, let's see, I found a couple of cute ones on here. I'm trying to remember what quotes I had in my mind. Maybe something fun like, I kind of like this, the snuggle is real. How about steal my heart, not my blankets? Wouldn't that be a fun one to have on your bed? Make sure I'm clicked in there. Okay, and you could erase the heart out of here and put in a little heart clip art, something fun, but just, I love the plain text. And you can play around. I'm going to make the text as big as I can. that is actually a quite large font. Lovely. So play around, maybe find a couple of fun fonts that we like. And you'll see some are a little bit larger than others, but depending on what you do. And if you want to change the spacing, maybe put this on a separate line, you can do it there, or you can just slide this in and make it a little narrower. So really easy, you could just put text centered on the page. And if you wanted to preview it, super simple, text on a photo. That is about as basic as it gets, really easy, any quote you would like. You could even take a new text box and put names at the bottom. So for this one, if it's maybe on a husband and wife's bed, you could do, put a couple of names on there. Make it quite a bit smaller. And then slide it to the bottom. So really simple, make it a little more personalized. Sorry, I went quite a bit small. Had to decide. And as simple as that. So if you want just a simple text on trend on the photo. Sorry, I have a 5-year-old that just came out of bed. Go ahead and get a drink. And then go back to bed. We went to bed and then time to get on here. All right, so super easy, really fun. And how fun would this be for maybe a wedding present or even just on your own bed? So simple as that with these fun text ones. You can also make it a little more exciting with maybe some backgrounds or changing the color of the font. White and black is very on trend, but maybe if you have a more gray themed home, or let's see, there's a fun navy in here that I love. Navy goes with absolutely everything. And it's very, very fun to pop with any color. And then just make the text white to stand out on top. Oh, where'd it go? White. Losing my brain. Or you could do something like adding a photo on there. So we can add an empty photo box. You can also do this by starting out with a photo from the beginning. There are a couple of options either with 4 photos or 2 photos. And so you could stack one, take a good picture, and just have it on the top half. So we're gonna kind of cheat and do that ourselves because we'd already deleted it off. But really easy to just have it take up half of the pillow. I'll make it fit a little better. And then I can go in here and pull it down a little bit. Now, again, that's easier to do it from the starting out page, but for the sake of playing around tonight. So you could have a lot of fun with that. And anytime you play around with those and, let's delete the box too. You can always see what you're looking at by clicking the preview button like we did before. And in this case, if I had started with the picture where it was, in this case, it has the picture clear up here, and so it doesn't want me to pull it down. But you would want their heads a little further down. Maybe if we go back out, let me show you real quick how I would do that. So we pick the 2 photo option. Oops. And it's got 2 picture spots. And all I would do is pop a picture into one of these. Again, since the box is a little smaller, it lets us really easily drag the picture down so that their faces are, oops, I grabbed the wrong button. There we go. So their faces are a little closer to the center of the pillow, which is very important to remember. That's why the preview button is great. So you can remember that the pillow is a bit rounded, and so anything that's around these edges will be a little harder to see from the front. And then I just delete the picture off the bottom, and I can put any text I want here. I can change the background color and make it to fit any theme. So really fun. You can have it with a photo, without a photo, just text, personalize it with some names or a family name, anything like that. So I love the versatility of these photos. I wanted to show you a couple more that I had come up with just playing around, and another idea using Snap to Finish for inspiration. So I wanted to show you this one. This one was started out with a blank pillow, but then I added a layout, I'll show you, with several pictures. It's going to take a sec for those pictures to load in. But if you go to mosaics, you can pull up some photo layout options with several pictures. And I picked this one right here. And then all I did was delete out these 9 pictures in the middle. So it gives me kind of this square photo frame around the center. And it gives me some white border area. You can take the ones here that go all the way to the edge. But like I said, because the pillow's a little bit rounded, those ones may be a little hard to see. So this gives you a little bit of a buffer zone so that the pictures will be more visible. And then all I did was put a quote in the middle. And since this one says, do small things with great love, I thought maybe a fun heart. So really easy, really simple. And these are nice small Instagram photos. They're not very large, so they will show up beautifully on a picture. Sometimes those Instagram photos are a little small, and so they're hard to blow up on something big like a canvas or a photo or a pillow if you're pulling them very large. But since these are nice, cute little square frames, you can enjoy the photo and it doesn't have to be large and crystal clear. But you still get the overall idea, and it's lots of fun. So again, you can preview that. And I've noticed the pillow previewer makes the pillow look a little more bulbous than it is in real life. So if you've got a face on there and it looks like it's making the face go a little fisheye, don't worry too much about it. It's just an example, but I promise you will absolutely love these when you see them in person. The other one I wanted to show, this is not a pillow. All those P words tonight, photo and pillow, I'm getting them mixed up. I wanted to show you an idea with the stainless steel tumbler. If you haven't tried one of these, they are awesome. They are great insulators and something that you could easily carry around day to day. So if you're looking for inspiration, or if maybe you're the type of person who comes up with a word of the year that you're trying to keep in mind all year and keep yourself motivated and on track with your goals, a tumbler is a great way to do that. So this one, when I started, again, it gave me a 2-photo option. So I had a photo over here and a photo on this half. And all I did was put a photo on one side and delete the photo on the other side to add in my text. So this one I thought was really cute. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Isn't that a fun motto to take day to day, to remind yourself to be grateful for what you have? Even if sometimes life is a little hard and we worry about things that we could have or should have or anything like that, but being grateful for what we have, I thought is amazing inspiration day to day. And all I did was pop in a little bit of clip art. There are lots of fun options that have been added and new ones added constantly. This was just in the everyday items here. And just really simple, really fun. You could put this cute coffee cup and put something like, don't ask me yet, I haven't had my coffee. All of those fun mugs that you see. So really fun to put a little personal saying on your tumbler and carry it around with you. So if you take it to work every morning with your coffee or your hot chocolate in it, just a fun way to keep a little picture and a saying close to your heart and close with you all the time. So I thought that was a really, really fun. Here, we'll preview this really quick. I wish you could turn the tumbler, and maybe you can, and I just don't know how. But I thought this was just really fun. So you've got the picture showing on one side and the quote on the other, and just a really easy way to keep yourself motivated and on track with your goals. So that's what I wanted to show in Snap to Finish, just for the big things of inspiration, either for yourself or for a gift. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to shift over into Studio in Heritage Makers for a little while. Just let me know if we have any questions. Okay, so if you haven't looked in the template gallery last night or this morning, there are a whole bunch of new templates that have come in from myself, Lisa, and a couple of others. Lots and lots of fun, inspirational ideas. So we're going to show a few of those and just give a quick overview. I'll go into Studio on a couple of different things, but so many things to show right now. So a big thing with inspiration in Heritage Makers, we love our 11 by 14 prints. They are great for gifts. They are cost-effective, great and fun to switch out in a frame, maybe changing your decorations in your house from month to month, or whenever you just want to change up a quote. Really simple, really easy to just order one, change it up if you'd like, if maybe the color's not quite right for you, but a great way to keep a little inspiration in your daily life. So there are a lot of fun 11 by 14 prints in here. If we have time at the end, I'm going to show importing one of these into a 4 by 6 invitation or a 5 by 7 invitation. an easy way to order something a little bit smaller to maybe put in a desk size frame. So great way to keep the motivation going all year long. So next down here, there are some fun cards. So like I said, for this one, Lisa made some 4x6 and 5x7 invitation sizes. So again, same with that, to be able to put on your desk. And this one I thought was really cute. It has a front and back that are completely different, so you could switch it back and forth whenever you want to change things up. So the front has this cute follow your heart, and then on the back it says, I think, oh, cross it out, I can. So instead of I think I can, it's I can. I thought that was a really fun idea to be able to swap it out with only having one, but you can change it back and forth, whatever you would like at the time. So I love these for desk size inspiration. And you can do that easily with any of these 11x14 prints or anything you find on a larger project. It's so simple to go into Studio and import it into a smaller project size and enjoy it in a smaller size. So the next thing, I wanted to show these fun kind of love note ideas, or kind of a random act of kindness hello. There are a few more down here at the bottom. They got kind of split up from different days of submitting them. So these ones have been in for a couple of days. But just really fun little ways to say hello to someone, to give them a note, remind them that you love them or you appreciate them, or show them that you care. This one's really cute. It's what I love about you right now. So some different options. I just like to take a moment to say, I'm grateful for your blank, or today I loved blank with you. I'd love to blank with you. Let's see, I enjoyed your advice on whatever. So fun little checklist and a little space for a note at the bottom. These are different colors, and you could easily change up the colors on this if you wanted, but really, really fun. You could change it to not say what I love about you if you don't want it maybe so Valentine's themed. I feel like we're all in the Valentine's mindset right now, but something like that is great all year long, to be able to tell someone how much you care about them, that you are thinking of them. This one's a little less Valentine's themed and maybe not quite so girly, but this one says, hey there. So to a friend, coworker, or whatever, from, and the date, I just wanted to say, there's a couple of options, or fill in the blank, because, and then a little space for a note. How urgent is this message? And this one goes with another love note themed one that's a little more pink and Valentine's-y, but still good all year long. But same type of thing. Choose your message, write in a little personal message, for lack of a better word, and leave it on their desk or put it in their lunch or whatever. Just a fun way to let someone know that you care and that you're thinking of them. Along with that, on the same lines, a smaller and maybe a little more compact version of this are these fun double-sided business cards. We had this idea of whether it's a day-to-day thing that you drop one of these cards with a little note on it to brighten someone's day, or maybe like a teacher, why we appreciate you, teacher, and you have each student write a little note or even sign your name and put it in a jar for the teacher. So, or even a jar for your spouse, or a jar for your child, or just having one of these on hand to be able to drop a little note for someone and do something kind for them. We've all heard of the random act of kindness that is great to do for people, whether you know them or you don't. And just a fun way to leave a little personalized note that says, hey, I was thinking of you, or I did this for you. I hope your day's a little bit better. So there's a couple of different versions of each of these. And I wanted to show how easily this one is to personalize, because it's just a very simple little template. So I'm just going to click personalize, and we'll change it up, maybe change the color and put a different name on there. If you don't want your name on there, you notice the other one said pass it on. So if you don't want to leave your name, if you want to be a little more anonymous, just put pass it on or something like that on there, or don't even have a spot for a name. Whatever you would like to do, whatever you think you would use to maybe inspire someone or add a little kindness to their day. So this one's really, really simple. And all we're going to do is go and find a collection that we love. So pretend you're opening this one and you maybe just really, really don't like the jade green color. You love the idea of this, but really the color is just not you. You wouldn't use it. You don't quite love it. So find a collection, any collection that you love, that you enjoy the colors of, and go down to the papers, or even sometimes these cute little journaling cards that you find would be really easy to swap out in here because it's a business card. They're very, very small. So you can put just about anything as the background on these. But maybe we'll just play around with some plaid or maybe a wood paper. I don't know. What do you guys think? I absolutely love this collection. It's one of my favorites of the newer collections. In case you haven't noticed that by all of the different templates that have been coming with these backgrounds and things, I love them. So really fun. Just play around, and if you find a simple white or cream to change out the color of this, this is actually a pretty good color for this one. If you don't find a color that works quite perfectly, or a plain colored paper, you can easily just add a fill color. So I could come down here and grab this cream colored just so it kind of blends, or even maybe a tan. Still got a fill color on it. Or you could do a darker, or maybe the navy, and then change the text to white, for example. So play around with it, make it yours, something that you will use and remember to use and enjoy using, and make it a little bit of you. So I'm gonna change out the background paper on here. This one I designed to have a blank back so that if you wanted to leave a little note, you could, but obviously you don't have to. You could just have a patterned paper on the back of here and just have it be a little note that says, please enjoy this act of kindness. And then all you'd have to do is change the name on here. So let's say Alicia, maybe. You could put a last name if you want to, but obviously you don't have to. Again, this is one of those things that you just want to make your own. I thought the little heart was cute, but I think I want to change it from that jade green color. So I'm just going to give it a fill color to one of these fun pinks. Super simple. If I wanted to, I could make the name a little bit bigger if I want it to just take up a little more space. Move this up a little bit. Okay, so really easy. Make it what you would like, and just a really fun and easy way to pass along a little bit of kindness and inspire someone, or lift their spirits, or make their day a little happier. So make it yours. This is a really, really simple template. You'll notice it only took maybe a minute to change out the colors on this. So easy, but just make it yours. So have we had any questions coming in, Lisa?
They've all been answered.
Wonderful.
Lisa's on top of them.
We will keep moving on then. Okay, I'm gonna go back into the template gallery. Back up a bit. It was catching up with how far I'd scrolled down. Okay, we'll reload that real quick so it doesn't have to think too hard. Okay, so those are just really fun and quick, easy ideas. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more about where we find inspiration, or what inspires us. So we're gonna go back into Pinterest, just because we were talking about that before. And instead of pillow quotes, what if we find inspiration from things like home decor pictures, or maybe outfit pictures inspire you? So if we look up, let's see if I can remember what it's called. So, whoop, apparently my autocorrect does not like the word polybore. So there's this cool outfit designer, kind of an app that you can use online for designing outfits that's called Polybore. I've never played around with it too much, but people make these amazing little outfits that you can look at and go, wow, yeah, that is something I would totally wear. Or maybe you're looking at it and going, wow, okay, I love the black and white stripes with the pretty burgundy red and a little plaid. Maybe you use that inspiration to design a project, or to make something fun that you would put in your home. So maybe you have a very neutral colored home and you love the colors and the combination of patterns, and design something like that that would look good in your home. So we can get inspiration from other things. So really fun to take inspiration from things like outfits or home decor. So you can search home decor, or you can search more specific things like maybe, oh, what's that new term that's going around? Not like ranch home, but
it's not country ranch or country, oh, farmhouse, Lisa.
Farmhouse, there we go. So like you could, if maybe that's something that you love, you could search farmhouse home decor, farmhouse decor, and find things that maybe inspire you, like, oh, I love this pretty grayish color with the wood and the white, maybe a little distressed look, and bring that into what you're designing. So find your inspiration wherever it finds you. So things like that, or maybe even, oh, I love this layout of pictures, and I have a fun ladder that I could use laying around, or I have a husband who knows how to build things with wood. I can get some cheap frames and I could print out some pictures and maybe a couple of quotes and put this in my home. So find your inspiration, whether it's colors or patterns or layouts, or maybe I just see, oh, I love this saying up above a bench and hanging some coats. So I could print out a canvas with a saying like that maybe matches my decor. So I love Pinterest for inspiration. And the other thing that this is making me remember to switch to is I absolutely love color palettes. And am I the only person who, I'm amazing with remembering how to spell words, but the word palette always throws me off when I'm typing in color palettes. I always want to spell it wrong. I might just be me on that one.
It's the 2T, 2L thing.
I know. Yeah, see? Well, and it came up that way. See, it's
yeah, I can never remember. 2 L's, 2 T's.
Right. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure in my photos on my Heritage Makers account, it's spelled with 2 L's and 2 T's because I go with it. But I love coming in here and looking for color palettes because you can find ones that absolutely speak to you or that you love and maybe would use in your home decor or designing a scrap page, things that just absolutely speak to you. So I'm a fan of bright colors. I love things like this that are well put together. And I love having a bunch of color palettes on hand for when I'm designing something with colors and I just want to find some that go together really well. And I play around, and even if I'm mixing and matching from several different color palettes, I love having those pretty colors already picked out for me. I love that. So I wanted to show some fun ideas here. Let's go ahead and pick one of these and save them. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of really pretty ones in here. I'm kind of loving, I'm not a huge mustardy person. Oops, not save. But I love this one. It's pretty. I love the calming colors of the blues and the kind of grayish. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and save the image. And I'm just going to find a spot to save it. I've got an album already set up that I've got from there. So I'm going to go back into my photos. I've got this color palette album already going on. And this is just in my account that I use for the class, not even my personal account. I've probably got 5 times this many color palettes saved, and I use them all the time and I love them. But I just save them whenever I come across one that I absolutely love. And all I do is upload it. It takes just a second because they're these tiny little JPEG files. They don't take up much space at all. So they're really easy to have in your account. And then so easy to pull into different projects. So I wanted to show just a couple of things real quick, and then we're about time to switch over to the hands-on side of things.
You're doing just fine. Don't stress.
Okay. So there are some really fun templates that are using solid colors that it's really easy to switch out to use any color that you would like. So color palettes are great for this. If you find one that works great with your decor, or that, like I said, just you love the colors. So personalize a template like this. So this is one that I ended up making, and I kind of love it. I might print one to have at my house because I love how it turned out, and I love that I could switch out the colors if I wanted to. But I'm going to open this one, and it just says, be bold, be brave, be you, which is just really simple and a great mantra to have around the house. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my photos and open my color palettes. And I've got all these different palettes to choose from. See if we can remember what that one was that we just saved. That was this one. Okay. Now, they come up really small, so I stretch them nice and big, and it really does not matter if they go into the red because you're not going to leave it on there to print. If I were to print this because it's in the red and it's so tiny, it would probably be a little blurry. But all I'm doing is using it to pick my colors out of. So I want to grab these fun colored strips here, and they just have a fill color on them. So all I'm going to do is fill them with a fun color. And really easy to just grab it out of my color palettes. And simple as that. And maybe if I don't love, like I'm not a huge fan of this mustardy gold color, I can go down, I can pick another color palette and try again. Like, let's play around with this one with the pretty pinks, pinky purple colors. So I could play around. I actually still really like these blues, so maybe if I just switch out for one of these fun reds. So really, really easy to just switch around and play with what you'd like. So the color palettes give you a great source to play around with colors that are already picked out for you. And even if you want a lighter version of that color, give it a bit of transparency and then grab it again. So grab the fill color, and I have a nice muted version of that same color. I love it. I honestly use color palettes for just about everything. Even if it's just, oh, I love how these colors go together, I'm going to go search for teal paper in the art collection down here and find a teal that's this kind of color and a rose that's this kind of color and use those elements in designing a project. So I love that someone's already thought and put together colors that work really well together and give a nice feeling to them, and it gives you a great jumping off point. I wanted to show one other quick thing with the color palettes, really quick.
You're good.
Okay. I gotta back up. Take me back into the template gallery. Okay. So I'm going to open up, I'm going to search for 11 by 14 prints because like I said, there are a lot of them and they are amazing. And especially if you go in here and find one that is word art like this, that everything has a fill color or is a text with a color on it. And maybe I love this saying, but those colors would absolutely not work in my kitchen. This one's fun. It says, I like hugs, I like kisses, but what I'd really love is help with the dishes. So I would love this. I'd love to put it in my kitchen, but the colors just don't really work for me. So I'm going to personalize it. And all I'm going to do is switch out the colors for something that maybe matches more what I'm looking for. So this is really easy to do if you find something that you love, but the colors are just not quite right for what you would use. So I'm going to go back down into my color palettes. And let's find something that might be fun in a kitchen, an imaginary kitchen, because let's face it, my kitchen does not have much of a decor scheme going on. It has a red wall because that's what my husband and my brother painted when they painted the house before we moved in. But you know how it is. So you find something that you might absolutely love to be colors for your kitchen. Let's see.
Do the succulent one. The succulent is a really popular kitchen up higher.
Up higher.
The one that's the blues and stuff. That guy that's
this one. Yes. You might need another darker color to go with that one, but yes, I love this one. Maybe if we throw in like a pretty dark purple. So you can pull up multiple if you think they might go somewhat well together and just play around with it. Okay, so all I'm going to do, this is an element with a fill color. So if you take it back, you can see it's really this kind of brown wood color, but it's got a fill color on it, so I can make it any color I want. I'm going to make these ones this pretty deep blue. And I'm just going to grab all the things that are currently the same color and make them that color. And it just takes a second. You just have to grab each one. You can also, for things that are the same, so I wouldn't necessarily do this with text when you're doing it with embellishments, but all these embellishments. So if I copy this one that I've already given the fill color, and then I grab these three other hearts, I'm holding down Shift so it selects all three at once, and then Edit, Paste Special, Paste Format will give them all the exact same formatting that this one had that I copied. So it makes it really quick and easy if you do it that way. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the text. These ones are black. I might leave them black, or I might do maybe a gray, but I'm going to grab this mint and do, I think the green might be a little too light. So how about, do that pretty lime green. I'm kind of liking this kind of sherry purple color. So I'm going to grab that and just change these 3 text boxes. So you'll notice these ones are text boxes, so they're a little bit different than the fill color on an embellishment, but still the same basic process. And then maybe if I wanted to switch out, like I could change this black to the pretty dark purple. So it gives me kind of a less harsh color, but still works with the dark blue and the purple. So really easy. You could change out all the colors. You could change out one of the colors if maybe you just don't like one of the colors that was used, but you can make it your own. So really easy to do very quickly, and just to change up a little bit of a template that you otherwise love. So play around with any of these solid colored templates, especially the fun word art. Play around with those and make it something that works for you, works for your home decor. If you're redoing a word art for a gift, make it something that the other person will love. If you know that they love a certain color, or if it's for a baby shower gift, make it something that will look good in the nursery if you know their nursery colors. Things like that that can really make the difference between whether something will be absolutely loved. So think about doing stuff like that. If there's something that you love, but maybe just the color's a little bit off, I feel like I'm rambling, but if that makes sense to you. So I think that's about it for me, Stacy.
We have one question for you.
Okay.
Does copy format only work if the shapes are all the same, or could you have selected the arrows and the hearts and apply the color?
Absolutely. Let me show. Okay. Let's grab a different blue. Maybe this one. Okay. It does work absolutely for anything that is on the page. Like I said, sometimes when you're pasting the format into a text box, sometimes it glitches and goes a little wonky. So I don't recommend doing that. But any embellishment, absolutely any. So I'm going to change the color. Let's make it obvious to this orange. Maybe the green. It might look a little better with the purple. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to select all these other blue items. Any of them. They can be different sizes, different shapes, different collections, any of it. I could even grab this guy in here. Oops. If I can grab it without grabbing the text box. And then edit, paste special, paste format. So this works with any, you can pull something directly out of a collection in the art collection below. So if I pull this up here, obviously it's white, so it's really hard to see. But I'm going to paste special, paste format, and it gives it that pretty green color, which actually might be really fun to put behind this. Just playing around. But any embellishment will work to do that with. So you can grab one, you can grab several. They can be completely different sizes and shapes, and it will still work. And that also works not only for fill color, but for things like border, rounded corners, transparency, and giving it a little bit of a blur. So I could do the same thing if I copied
and drop shadow too, right?
And drop shadow, all of these, everything under the effects tab, including making it black and white if you want. So, which obviously won't work because it's got a green fill color on it. But if I were to dial that back, it would be black and white. So if I copy that and then grab one or two of these other items, it'll give them all those same things. So it's giving them all of these different effects and paste them onto there. So it works if you've maybe added a border and a drop shadow to a photo and want to apply the same formatting to other photos on the page. It's just a great time saver if you want to apply the same effects to multiple items on the same page, or even going to a different page in the same project. So great and easy tip to remember for when you're designing.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am.
You are welcome.
Okay, if you'll give it back to me, not my iPhone.
Hang on, let's see.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to give away more points. And these ones are going to Jennifer. Jennifer, if you will message Lisa E., not Lisa Espinosa, but Lisa E., your account number, she will get you 25 points. And then we'll try and remember to do it at the end as well. Okay, apparently I am now the host, and so we're going to find my iPhone and make it the host. There it is. It gets to be the spotlight video, which you should be able to see now. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So the hands-on portion tonight, we're going to look at ways that you can display some inspiration, okay? So a few of these are things you're going to make, a few are things you can just adjust. So this is the frame that came from Anthology, and it has some quotes in it that you can put in it, or I used paper from, and my back apparently is coming off because see, you just slide these little guys on. I used so sorry, paper from Our Memories for Life, trimmed it to 8.5 by 11, ran it through the printer, and then trimmed it down again to 8 by 10 because this holds an 8 by 10 piece of paper. So you could easily swap out to whatever quote you want to have for that month, that week, whatever it is you want to have. Okay, so that's one idea. Another idea, this takes advantage of Heritage Makers and Anthology. So these are cards made in Heritage Makers, as well as this one, that you can put quotes on, and they actually have stuff on the back too. In fact, on these ones, you could put quotes on both sides and then just flip it over when you want a new one. And then these other little cards are out of the, I have now probably forgot, the Better Together collection, which is where these cute little animals come from. And with these clips, you just unclip what you want, and there are actually additional clips that come with it, but I couldn't find them, so I just pulled some paper clips I already had. So swap them out, you're ready to go. Now, this one is actually, I bought this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. And this is using the Lemon Squeezy collection. And I printed quotes, and none of these things are adhered in so that each month I can swap out these quotes. Okay, they're just snug enough that you'd actually have to dump it over to have everything come out. The only thing that's adhered in is this one because this is a clear transparency frame that comes in the Lemon Squeezy collection. So the quote is actually not adhered down, but this guy is tacked on the corner. So I could still swap it out, just lift it up and put it in new. And then this guy, which apparently I've now pulled off the flower. Let's see if I can get him to come out. There you go. This one is actually printed on one of the journal cards. Now, you do have to trim these journal cards down just a little bit, but it's not too bad. And what I do is I print out my quote until I get it the size that I want. And then you can barely see, there's a little bit of adhesive right there and another little piece right here. And so then I take my card and I hold it up to the light until I get it exactly where I want it, and then just push where that adhesive is and run it through my printer. Now, this does not work on every printer, but on most printers, like I have a DeskJet at home, and it works with my DeskJet at home. Okay, so if you want to print on something that's smaller than what you actually have, you can easily do that. Just test it out on a piece of paper and then put it where you want. Now, these other guys are just decorative. You could add other things. I did this based on the fact that my word for the year is stretch, so that's why the 2018 is in here. But I'm going to show you how you can do something similar to this using this bad boy that also is an anthology piece. I'm not sure how many of you have this. They're little shelves, so you can use them as shelves, or you could actually use them for quotes too. So what I did is in Word, I created, and apparently I threw, oh, there it is. This one has whom spelled wrong, whoma. Anyways, I created a table that was 3.75 by 3.75, so it's a little bit smaller because each of those openings in those boxes is 4.5. And I don't know why I'm choking now, so sorry. So I made them just a little bit smaller. And when I work in it, designing it, I usually leave dashed lines in there just so I can see it. And you can actually print it this way because you're going to trim them off. Or you can turn off the lines and print them this way. Okay, so if I was using the ones with the line version, I just line it up. I'm going to actually pull this guy down. Make sure you can see this. I line it up so the dashed line is just to the side of it. And also, I just used regular printer paper. You can use white cardstock. This was just strictly the easiest thing for me to do and get it done. Okay, so again, I'm just to the side of this dashed line, so I'm trimming off the dashed line. And you can do this in any order you want. You can do the sides and then come and do the top and the bottom, whatever works for you. Now, the one catch, and I am going to do this bottom one off first, and I'll come and show you the middle. Wow. When I do the middle, I will do to one side on that, and then I will just slide it over a little bit and to the other side of that one, okay? So now I have these two quotes, and I'm going to take some paper, which, oh, I'm using this paper, because I want to decorate it with the Flowers and Frames collection. So I went and found it, Our Memories for Life. This is in the Floral Flourish collection. Look how well those things work, especially when you see these guys inside. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm just going to cut 4.5-inch squares. So I'm lining that up, 4.5 inches. And the great thing is there's 9 boxes on here, so you can get several quotes in here. You can decorate them however you want. I am just going to do 2 different papers though. Okay, now I've got my papers cut, got my adhesive, my quotes. So I'm going to take my quotes and I'm just going to put them right in the middle. Now I could put them down in one corner if I want to decorate them. You can do whatever your little heart desires, okay? And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive in each corner. Put this in the middle. Of course, it's lined up perfectly, I'm sure. This guy. Oops. One thing about using printer paper is that the adhesive sticks really well to it. Okay, so, and you can see on this one that I'm just slightly off. You can barely see the little dash line, but we won't tell anyone, will we? Okay, now in here, I have all sorts of fun stuff to decorate with. Okay, so I'm going to put not that one. We'll go with this little guy. And there are foam squares, and I normally would definitely do foam squares, but I'm going to move through this pretty quickly. There are frames that you can put on these. There's so many fun things that you can use. I mean, look at these cute little frames. So if you had a smaller quote, you could do that inside of the quote. On this guy, he definitely will look cute, except for I have to figure out how to do this so it doesn't cover up my quote. That's not going to work, huh? But you can see you can just keep trying things until you find something that works, that gives you the look you were hoping for. This guy is too big too. Ah, that works. So I can put one of those there. These are paper flowers that are really fun to layer, so I can do a couple different ones, maybe not that big. Let's go with this guy here. Okay, so again, because they're paper flowers, I just put adhesive in the middle of it. You could use a glue dot if you want to, but I think it's fun to kind of layer them so that you get a little more color in there. And there are buttons that you can put in the centers. That's not going to work. Let's go with this little baby button here. Just put a little bit of adhesive because no one likes a naked flower, okay? So you do that, and then when you've got these done and ready to go, you just slide them into, and apparently I didn't measure these correctly. I swear it said it was 4.5. Okay, so you know the rule, measure twice, cut once. So lost my ruler. It does say, 5. This guy up here is 4.5. So note to self, always measure. Those are 5 inches. Okay, so you know what you could do with these though? Oh, there's always a way to fix a problem. Who knows what it is? Well, of course, you double mat. Since I already have, well, we'll go with this guy. This will tie them all together. So now I can do, oops. Apparently I just popped my blade out. You know, only when you do things live do you end up with issues like the blade just popped out. Here we go. Put it back on again. Almost on. There it goes. Okay, try this one more time. 5 inch. And we'll do 2 5-inchers here. Okay, and then we can mat these guys. See, it was a great plan. I had it planned all along. I just wanted you to think I didn't have it planned. So there's our handy dandy double mat. We'll do this one. Okay, now they will fit in. And these guys in the corners, because they're a little tight, you just drop them in and there you go. Okay, so some of them are not exactly 5 by 5, but you get the idea. Fill them with quotes, fill them with inspiring little things, whatever makes you happy there. All right. The last thing I want to show you, sorry, clear off my space here. Oh no, not the last thing. Oh, how could I forget this? Okay, how many of you have bought the Sign It card frame kit? I love this kit, and it's so cute, but what if you put a quote in it and made a little stand, and you're not gonna be able to tell this, but look, it stands all by itself, and it doesn't close or anything. So let me show you how easy it is to do that. Okay, so put my pieces here. All right, here's a frame. I'm trying for life for me to remember which quote I was going to use. Oh, I know, I was going to use. Here's the great thing, I can see which one is going to fit, and it's this guy that I want to use. So I'm going to trim this down just a hair. I think I've mentioned before that I'm a really messy scrapper. You don't ever want to come to my house and scrapbook with me because I get kind of crazy. Now, the key to this is that the measurement on the inside of this, I lost my ruler again. Anyways, you want to make sure that you leave a little extra so that it will go outside, okay, on the ends. And if I remember right, I needed 5 inches on the height on this, so I'm going to just make sure that I have left enough. Wow, that's a close, snug as a bug there. Okay, it was 5 inches, so we're going to go just a little bit past it, see what we can do here. Now, the great thing is I'm hiding all this other stuff. That's just so I have room to put the adhesive down, okay? Now, I could put it higher, I could put it lower, whatever you want. And I'm going to put the adhesive on the inside of the card because if I put it on the paper, I might not have it in the right spots. Okay, so this is where I put it, just like that. Then I lay this down, and I take this guy and I line it up without letting it touch the adhesive, in theory. Wow. Okay, and again, this would probably be a heck of a lot easier to do if you did it on cardstock rather than paper. And see, this is why. And now I'm going to just take this little piece of paper and do it on the inside. Okay, so always, you know, measure twice, whatever that rule of thumb is. And this is too tall. So we're just going to trim it off. But remember, it's on the inside. No one's going to see it. So I'm just going to trim this little guy so that it still folds, but you could still make it fold. Now, you want to make sure that you decorate the front before you do the little guys that hold it in place. So I've got some little triangular ones here. And actually, it does fit better. I don't know why on that side. So I'm just going to put little foam squares on the back to pop it up. There's also baker's twine that you can put behind these if you want. And because I want it to look right, I'm going to put the center one in first. And I'm not using these as a card, so it doesn't matter if it hangs off a little bit to the edge. Okay, so if it hangs off, not a problem. So I'm going to put the next one on. He goes like that. Oops, don't pull the whole square off. He goes like that. And we'll find some flowers or something to put down in the corner. That one looks good. Okay, so we've got our flowers on. Now, here comes the fun part. I'm going to create little things to hold it in place. So I'm just cutting these in about a 1/2 inch strip, okay? And again, no one's going to see them, so I have to be perfect, but I am going to try. I don't know what I did with my trimmer tonight. Okay, we're going to hand cut these little dudes. So I'm just going to do it, and you want to make sure that it's thinner than those legs. That's why a 1/2 inch is just about perfect, okay? So I've got 2 of these little guys that are 1/2 inch. And I think my other ones I did were about 3 inches long, and these ones are a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to fold up each end, and it's best if you do these together so that you get them folded at the same place. Otherwise, they won't match up, okay? Then I'm going to take one of them, and I'm going to put adhesive on the back of it. Adhesive on the back of this guy. And then I take it and I line it up, and you don't want it to be at the very bottom of it. You want it to be just a little bit below. So I'm just going to put this one on so you can see that it's about 1/4 inch. All it is so that it will secure it. And then with that straight, kind of straight, I'm going to put it onto the other one. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm going to do the second one. Same thing, line it up on the bottom. It's about 1/4 inch from the bottom of that, 1/4 inch from the bottom of that one. There it is. Now it stands. It will not fall over. It's a built-in stand, okay? All right, last thing. This really is the last thing, and I'm going to let you go. We talked about inspiration, and one of the things that I like to do is look around me and find inspiration. Ads are one of my favorite things, okay? So this is a screenshot out of a magazine that I read online. So you can screenshot things, which is really nice. The thing I loved about this is this guy, this guy, this guy, and the other things. And then I also like the mat too. So if I was going to make a sketch out of this, I would draw my square. Whoops. Let's start that again, because apparently I'm a perfect square drawer. And yes, you could use your ruler, but for me, these really are sketches. So then I can say, okay, well, I know I want a photo this way, and I want one here, and I want to have an accent here. So I usually do a flower, and I'm going to do my title up here and my journaling down there. That easily, I've made a sketch out of this. Now, the other thing I would do that was pointed out by Brooke is the colors. I love these reds, the teal, and the green together. So I might take a picture of this, which I already have, and upload this so I have the color palette, okay? Here's another one. Yeah, I know I grabbed it because of the dog. But doesn't that picture grab you? So if I was going to do a sketch off of this, then I would say, okay, here, I probably wouldn't do this scallopy border, although I do like it. So instead, I might do a scallop border that I use from Our Memories for Life, and put a big focal point photo here. So this is going to be my photo. And then have some sort of accent here, and I always use a flower as my accent thing. And then I could put a smaller photo here, put some journaling here, and if I wanted to make it into a 2-page layout, then I just carry it across, and I could put 2 photos there, and I could put another photo. I could just actually reverse it and put more journaling like that. Okay, now I've got another layout. You kind of getting the hang of this? Now, this one is really, really busy, but if you remove some of the busyness so that it's just these parts, you'll see that you have basically 3 sections, okay? So the sketch that I would do off of this one would look like this. So I would have it, and I would divide it into thirds, okay? So these are 4x6 photos here. And then I could either do additional photos here, or I could divide it up. In fact, this one actually has then an additional little, I could do a little border right here in the middle and do accents here. I could do my title and do some journaling. Okay, so taking that busy thing. This also is a great color combination. You got that magenta, white, and black. Black and white with that magenta pop is amazing. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to call it good, okay? So here's one more that I love the layout of this one too, okay? So here's my layout, and I'm going to take it and divide it into these sections, okay? So this is a small part at the bottom, and then this part is divided in half. And again, I would probably either put a large focal photo here, or I would divide it in half. I would do my title here, and I really like how it has this fun box around it. So if I wanted to remember that, I would do that. I would put a photo up here, maybe even a round photo. It doesn't really matter. And then the thing I love about the bottom part here are these little tick marks. So I could put a photo here, an accent here, and some journaling in those parts, okay? So you can take anything that you find and make it into a sketch and use that for your layouts, use them for cards, whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, I'm going to take back control from my phone, except for I have to find my phone. Where did my phone go? So sorry, hang on. Cancel the spotlight video. That should take you back to me, hopefully. We'll see if I pin. Oh, I have to start my video. That would really help, wouldn't it? There we go. Come on, baby. Now that I've got my video going, will you let me do, okay, pin video on first screen. There you go. So those are all the inspiration things that we have for you tonight. I hope this has really helped you, given you some ideas of things you can do. Before we go, we're going to do one more set of points, and these last points are going to go to Kelly Steenbuckers. If you will send your account number to Lisa E really quickly here in the chat, she will get you those points. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next month. And Lisa, we forgot to check and see what the date was for that next month. Do you have it off the top of your head? Maybe? No? Let's see if I can find it really quickly in my... How about if we say we're going to go back on March 15th? March 15th, we will see you here. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll get the recordings up in the next couple of days. Bye.